Welcome, my friends. Tonight, the world is quiet. The air feels cool. A soft wind moves outside the window. Somewhere far away, a city hums like a sleeping animal. And inside your mind, a small room waits for us, warm and calm. Close your eyes and imagine a street at night, long ago. The road is dark. You hear slow footsteps. You smell smoke from a small fire. Close your eyes and imagine a family room. A candle shakes a little. The walls dance with moving shadows. Imagine a worker at a desk. The sun is gone. The page is hard to see. The hand stops because the light is weak. Have you ever tried to read when the light is too low? Did you ever wonder how people worked after sunset? How did cities stay awake at night? Why did shadows rule so many homes? What if you could hold light in your hand? What if your room could stay bright without smoke? And what if a simple idea could change the whole world? Today, we will walk back in time to follow the history of the light bulb. We will do it in simple English. We will learn through a real story. It is a story of light, and also a story of hope. For a long time, human life followed the sun. When the sun went down, people used fire. They used small flames. They used oil, wax, or gas. These lights helped, but they also had problems. They could smell bad. They could be dangerous. They could burn a hand or start a fire, and they could make the air heavy inside a home. Here's the surprising thing. People did not only want more light, they wanted safer light. They wanted clean light. They wanted light that could stay steady, not shake and jump. They wanted to bring hope into dark hours, not fear. So a dream began to grow. Many curious people looked at the same question. Could we make light without an open flame? Could we make a lamp that glows, not burns? Could we make night feel more like day? Some people laughed at this dream. Some people said, night is night. Some people feared change. They worried about cost. They worried about accidents. They worried that new light would break old jobs. Did you ever notice how people can fear a new tool, even before they understand it? But the dream did not stop. In workshops and small rooms, people tried again and again. They tested ideas. They failed. They fixed. They failed again. And still, they tried. Because they believed light could be kinder than fire. Here's the surprising thing. The first steps were not one big jump. They were many small steps. People learned that certain kinds of energy can make things glow. That energy can travel through a path. When it moves, it can create heat and light. In simple words, it can make a little glow without a flame. But there was a problem. Early glowing lamps did not last long. Some broke quickly. Some were too bright and then went dark. Some were too weak. Some used too much power. So people asked, again, how can we make the glow steady? How can we make it last? And that's when teamwork began to matter. Not just one person, not just one workshop. Many minds, in many places, pushed the idea forward. Some studied in schools, some learned by doing, some had money to support tests, some had only patience and stubborn hope. Try this phrase, let there be light. Say it with me, let there be light. It is a simple line, but it carries a big feeling. It is the feeling of turning fear into hope. Over time, the glow became more useful. Streets started to change. Stores stayed open longer. People could meet after work. A home could feel safer at night. A child could see a storybook. A nurse could work with clearer eyes. Can you picture those small moments? Can you feel how light can change a human day? But then something changed. As more people wanted this new light, the question became bigger. How do you bring light to many homes, not just one room? How do you share it across a whole street? And how do you make it simple enough that anyone can use it? Here's the surprising thing. The history of the light bulb is also the history of connection. It needed more than the lamp itself. It needed a way to send energy. It needed systems, tools, and rules. That takes time. That takes people who can plan, build, and repair. Some early systems worked in small areas first. A few buildings could be bright. A few streets could shine. Then more places joined. Slowly, night began to look different. It was not only dark with small dots of flame. It was a wide space with steady light. Repeat after me. A brighter home. One more time. A brighter home. When you say it, think of a door opening to a warm room, safe and calm. But there was still doubt. Some people missed the old lights. Some did not trust the new ones. Some said the glow felt cold. Some said it was too strong. Did you ever feel that way about something new? Even when it helps, it can feel strange at first. So the builders listened. They adjusted. They improved. They made the light softer. They made it easier to use. They made it more reliable. Because when people welcome light into their homes, they want trust, not stress. And that is where we end this first walk. The dream of clean, steady light had started to move from idea to real life. The world was learning to hold light and to hold hope even after the sun went down. When the new lamps began to spread, the nights did not become perfect right away. They became busy. They became loud with work. They became full of new questions. Here's the surprising thing. Light can change a place, but it can also change people. When a street is bright, people walk differently. They look up more. They talk longer. They feel less alone. Have you ever noticed how darkness can make you hurry, but light can make you slow down? In many towns, shop owners wanted brighter windows. They wanted customers to feel welcome. Workers wanted safer spaces. Families wanted a calmer home at night. So the demand grew. And when demand grows, the struggle begins. But there was a problem. A new kind of light needed support. It needed steady energy. It needed people who could set up lines, fix breaks, and keep things running. If the energy stopped, the light stopped too. So the dream of light became a dream of strong systems. Some people said, "This is too hard." Some people said, "It will never reach my home." Some people worried about storms. Some people worried about accidents. They asked, "Is it safe?" They asked, "Will it cost too much?" They asked, "Who will control it?" And in the middle of all this doubt, the builders kept going. And that's when we see a new kind of team, not just inventors. Now we have planners, repair workers, and helpers. We have people who learn how to bring light to streets and homes. They dig, they carry, they connect, they test. They work in rain, heat, and cold. Because the goal is bigger now. It is not one glowing lamp. It is a whole city learning to shine. Try this phrase. Turn on the light. Say it with me. Turn on the light. It sounds simple, but it is a small miracle. With one action, a room can change. Here's the surprising thing. When more homes got this new light, daily life began to shift in quiet ways. Cooking became easier in the evening. Children could study after sunset. People could write letters at night. Some started to read more. Some started to dream bigger. Do you see how light can feed hope, even when nothing else changes? But then something changed. Work also changed. When places of work became brighter, time felt different. Some jobs moved into the night. Some businesses stayed open longer. Some people felt grateful. Some people felt tired. Is more light always a gift? Or can it also be a temptation, pulling us to do more and rest less? This is where the story becomes human. Light is not only a tool, it is also a choice. People had to learn new habits. They had to decide when to stop and sleep. They had to decide what a good night should look like. And slowly, societies learned new rhythms. But there was a problem again. Early lights could still fail. They could go dark at the wrong moment. And when a place depends on light, A sudden dark can feel scary. So the makers worked on reliability. In simple words, reliability means you can trust something to work again and again. They learned from mistakes. When something broke, they asked, why? When a neighborhood lost light, they looked for weak points. When a lamp did not last long, they looked for better ways. That is how progress often happens, not by one perfect day, but by many fixed problems. Repeat after me. We can fix it. One more time. We can fix it. Those words are full of hope. They are the voice of builders. Here's the surprising thing. As electric light became normal, people began to forget how new it once felt. A child could grow up thinking bright rooms were just part of life. A traveler could move from one town to another and expect light at night. Have you ever seen how quickly a miracle becomes ordinary? But then the twist arrived. The world is never still. New kinds of light began to appear. Some were brighter. Some were softer. Some used less energy. Some lasted longer. The old bulb did not disappear, but it had to share the stage. And that can feel like a threat. What happens when a famous tool is no longer the best one? And that's when the smart solution showed up. People did not throw away the idea of the light bulb. They improved it. They shaped it for different needs. They made light for reading, light for streets, light for factories, light for quiet homes. They learned that one kind of light cannot fit every life. In many homes, people also learned to control light. They used lampshades. They chose softer corners. They made warm rooms for rest. Because even in a bright world, we still need night. We still need calm. We still need a place where hope can settle. Try this phrase, a warm light. Say it with me, a warm light. It is not only about brightness, it is about feeling safe. As the years went on, light became a symbol. It meant safety. It meant learning. It meant work and growth. It meant people could gather and share stories. It meant streets could belong to everyone, not only the brave. But there was a problem we still face. Light can reach far, and it can also hide the stars. It can make the sky less dark. It can make nature change. So people began to ask new questions. How do we use light with care? How do we keep hope, but also keep balance? How do we make a bright world without losing the night? Those questions do not end the story. They push it forward. Because the history of light is a living story. It keeps changing, and it keeps asking us to choose. In the end, the light bulb is more than an object. It is a promise that dark hours do not have to win. It is a reminder that hope can be built, not only wished for. Here's the surprising thing. The story of light is also a story of small daily courage. Think of the first people who trusted a new glow in their homes. Think of the workers who climbed and carried, just to keep streets bright. Think of the makers who failed many times and still came back to try again. Have you ever worked hard on something that seemed simple, but was not simple at all? But then something changed. Once light became easy to use, it began to shape our feelings. A bright kitchen can feel like morning, even at night. A soft lamp can feel like a hug. A streetlight can feel like a friend standing guard. And a dark room can feel different when you know you can bring light back with one touch. Try this phrase. I need some light. Say it with me. I need some light. It is a useful line in English, and it is also a human line. Sometimes we mean light for our eyes. Sometimes we mean light for our heart. Here's the surprising thing. People used the new light to learn. In many places, schools could stay open longer. Libraries could welcome readers after sunset. Workers could train and practice new skills. This is how light and hope walked together. Light made time feel bigger. Hope made effort feel possible. But there was a problem. When time feels bigger, life can get crowded. We fill the hours, we add tasks, we stay awake late, we forget to rest. So people began to create new traditions. They made rules for work hours. They made quiet routines at home. They learned to turn light down when they wanted calm. And that's when light became personal. Not only more, not only brighter, but right for me. Some people liked bright rooms. Some liked soft corners. Some people liked to watch the night sky. Some liked to keep one small lamp and let the rest of the home sleep. What kind of light makes you feel at home? Here's the surprising thing. The light bulb also changed how we tell stories. Before families sat close to one flame, shadows moved on the walls. People listened with wide eyes. Later, rooms became brighter. People could see faces clearly. They could read together. They could write their own stories. And still, the need stayed the same. We still want warmth. We still want connection. We still want hope. But then something changed again. As nights became safer in many places, people began to use the night for joy too. Neighbors could visit after dinner. A walk could feel peaceful, not scary. Have you ever taken a night walk under steady light and felt your mind slow down? But there was a problem hiding inside that comfort. When we fill the sky with light, we can lose the dark. We can lose the quiet stars. We can confuse animals that move at night. So people started to ask gentle questions. How do we use light with care? How do we keep hope and safety, but also respect the night? Can we choose light that is enough, not too much? And that's when wisdom joins invention. It is not only about making new light. It is about using light well. It is about turning it off when we do not need it. It is about sharing a bright street, but keeping a calm home. It is about balance. Here's the surprising thing. The world keeps changing. Today we have many kinds of electric light. Some are tiny. Some are powerful. Some are made to save energy. Some are made to shine for a long time. And the old bulb, in many places, has become a symbol of the first big step. When you see a drawing of a bulb above a head, what does it mean? It means an idea. It means a spark. It means hope. And that's when we understand the real legacy. The light bulb taught us that progress is often quiet. It comes from steady effort. It comes from people who keep testing and learning. It comes from teams who build systems, not just tools. It comes from courage to change in normal life. Because think about it. The goal was not only to make nights bright. The goal was to make life safer. The goal was to make learning easier. The goal was to make streets feel shared. The goal was to give people more choices. And choices can create hope. Here's the surprising thing. You are part of this story too. Every time you turn on a light, you use the work of countless people. You step into their long line of effort. And you can also choose how to use it. Will you use light to hurry, or to help? Will you use light to stay up too late, or to create a calm home? Will you use light to learn something new, or to share kindness with someone near you? Try this phrase. I can keep going. Say it with me. I can keep going. The builders of light needed that sentence. We need it too, in our own way now. Let the story soften. Imagine the first warm rooms again. Imagine the street outside, safe and quiet. Imagine a desk where a person can read, write, and dream. And imagine the gentle glow that shows the way, like a friend in the dark. Think about your own life. What will you build, little by little? Where do you need more light? And where do you need more rest? What hope are you protecting today? Good night, my friends. Keep your heart warm. Let the light be gentle. And let hope stay close as you fall asleep.